Seems to be working just fine, so I'm going to leave it how it is. But this screw right here seems to be a little bit tight. Pull those out just a little bit. Again, we don't want any kink or any bow in the door because we want to keep this functioning correctly throughout its lifetime. Because we want to keep this functioning correctly at all times. There we go. All right, so we're going to come out here again and check this evening and make sure all the birds are in here, that it closed up fine, and then we'll also be out here in the morning to see the birds come out at 6:30. All right, so today we are going to be taking a look at the FarmPoultryGear automatic chicken door, and these things are super nice. If you haven't used one and you've got chickens, you really need to try one out. This one was sent to me for this review, so I'm going to show you how to set it up, how to install it, and how to use it. So you get the automatic chicken door. You also get a control panel on here, so it's not just going to be solar powered. You can also program it to open up at a certain time in the morning, close at a certain time at night, or you can program it to just rise or to open and close with the sunrise and sunset. Completely up to you. You also get a remote control and a solar panel for your power. So there's no batteries, no worries there. It's just going to be operated by the sun. And by the way, a lot of people have been concerned about these solar panels holding a charge long enough to operate these doors. And listen, all you're going to be using these doors for is raising it and lowering it a total of 30 seconds per day. And then you've got a little digital clock that's going to run in the background. It's not going to use up any battery. So you really don't need to worry about cloudy days and things like that, or even installing it underneath a tree. This is going to charge up just fine, and you're not really going to have any troubles at all. So you got a lot of line on here, and a hook on the top, so you can fasten this to the south side of your chicken coop so that it's facing the sun, or you can use a little stake here that they give you, and you can stake it into the ground. I have plenty of line here to do all of that. You've also got a charging cable so that you can charge your control panel inside. Now this does come pre-charged, and so we're not going to be charging that up today. We're not going to be using the stake today. We will be installing the solar panel and the control panel. So the first thing that we want to do is just set our control panel. Okay, so I want you to notice I am plugged into a power source. In order for this to work, it's always got to be plugged into power, whether that's going to be an electrical outlet or if it's going to be your solar panel. So to get this going here, we're going to hold our power button for a few seconds just to get things going. So we're going to hit our set button first, and we're going to get this thing set up. So we're going to hold the set button for just a couple of seconds, and we're going to set our time. Now our time is always going to be on the 24-hour time clock. So right now it is 13:21. So 13:21, and we want this to turn on. This is going to be our opening time. We want it to be 6:30 in the morning. And then our off time or our close time is going to be, now what we have here is a 0.5. This 0.5 is going to be our sun intensity. This number right down here is showing our sun intensity. So if I was to turn that just a little bit more and get more light in there from my studio lights, you're going to see that that number has risen to 26. Earlier you saw a little 0.5 right there. That's going to be a light indicator or an intensity indicator. Once it would reach 5 with the sunset, it would go ahead and close itself, or it would open however I had that programmed. Right now we've got it programmed to open up at 6:30, close at 8:30, and the next thing we need to do is just get this installed. Okay, so I wanted to show you how I've had to modify my door a number of times just for the different doors that I use. This is the setup that it's going to be. This is the setup that I use now for these roll-up doors. Remember, the roll-up is going to go on the inside, and it's going to fit right through there. All of these are pretty well the same size, and then we're going to put our screws in here as well as our control panel. So that's what we're going to start with first, is the control panel. Okay, so you remember one side goes to the power source and one side goes to the door. And so we got it set on a timer here, and so it's only going to work with the timer. We can manually close it. One thing that you want to make sure of is that when you get your door installed, that the roll-up is working correctly. When you put your screws in here, you don't want to get it so tight that it puts even a little bit of a bow in the frame. Any bow in the frame is going to cause your door to hang up and not work correctly. So right now everything is working well. We're going to go ahead and put a couple more screws in, and then we'll check it again.